Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all doing? If you're here, please kind of say hi, drop a like so I get more views for the video. And as always, if you want to join my Patreon, I'm going to leave the link here in the chat and in the comments down below. Where is it? Second. Just a second, my friend. While you're here, please kind of say hi. Let me know how your day's going. Excuse me, my throat just doesn't stop. Bruce, Johnny, Manjiro. Manjiro, as always. Interscope. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so if you want to join my Patreon, the link is right there. How's everyone doing? Yeah, Bruce, everything is great. Thank you. Johnny, it's good to see you too. Manjiro, everything is going great. Everything is going great, my friend. Thank you very much. Ismail Mohammed, I'm glad you had the time to join. Welcome. Abdul Digital, good morning. Astrid, hello. Hope you're having a good time there in the Netherlands. Interscope, really, get well, my friend. Get well. No way. At this point already. I hope you get well. Matt, hello. How's it going down in the UK? How's the weather? It's hot here in Dubai, my friend. But I guess, here we get tired of all the heat, and down in the UK, you probably get tired of all the cold weather, just the way that it is. Well, all right, my friends. Let's get down to it. I want to talk about, I'm like a little bit happy today because my portfolio is steadily growing. Everything, like not everything, but the majority of my coins are pumping. One of those coins I made public. It's ING, IGN, INJ, I think the abbreviation is. It's ING, yeah, Injective. It pumped very well. I bought $3 and it pumped to nearly $9. Of course, there's like a correction taking place right now, and in the future there always will be corrections and crashes and chop and boring periods while coins do nothing. But I'm happy because this is one of those coins that I picked out, and it's pumping, and many of my other coins are pumping, and this isn't even the euphoria phase of the cycle, right? So what I'm excited about is what are these coins going to do once the euphoria phase hits, right? Because right now Bitcoin only pumped roughly 100%. Other blue chips, like Ethereum and XRP also pumped roughly something like 100%. Whereas these other coins, I've had coins, now they corrected, but I had coins do 600%, 300%. And now Injective has done 3x, right? So obviously, when coins like XRP are up 500% and other coins are up like 1000%, and think about what these coins are going to do, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them, which is why it's so important to diversify, which is why I keep reiterating nonstop: diversifying to different coins with different narratives, different utility, different use cases and utility narratives, with different teams, but coins have potential to create this nice story that will create the community, right? And just the other day, yesterday or before yesterday, I added another coin in the $99 tier that I believe can deliver 50 to 100x profits. So if you're interested about that, once again, follow the link to my Patreon. Every single time I buy a coin, like the one I bought just the other day, I fully explain the reasoning behind why I bought the coin. I do heavy research, right? I do a lot of heavy research, and that heavy research isn't exactly what you think it is, I'm sure. Why I was in the past able to pick out a lot of coins that did well, the reason was that I do my research a little bit differently, right? So many people are stuck up on fundamentals and utility and partnerships. All of that is important, but there's so many coins at this point who do this. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot more from the social perspective, right? You have to kind of pick out coins that can form a big community. And the way I do that, that's basically described in every single post. I pick my I do my due diligence. I pick my coins very carefully. So yeah, now there are 24 of them, 24 100x coins, what I like to call, and I'm sure a lot of them will deliver very good gains. And also I'm a firm believer that you rather once the coin pumps. Once the coin pumps, you start laddering out with profits. So just because it's a 50 to 100x coin doesn't mean that you don't take profits beforehand. You have a system for every single coin. I have a different way that I take profits, different way I set stop losses. Once again, it's a numbers game to enhance your chances of nailing these huge runs, basically, right? So you have to not only diversify into different coins, you also have to basically diversify in a way that you take profits and set stop losses. And even the way when we're buying during the macro accumulation phase, and the way we will buy if we do get new lows in the future, even that is diversified in a way, right? Some coins were already accumulating, like Bitcoin, after 70% crash, all the way to a 90% crash, but it only did 78. Some alts were dollar cost averaging already from 80% after an 80% crash down to a 95% crash. Some alts only after a 98% crash to a 99.99% crash. So you diversify in everything that you do, right? You even diversify also not only in different coins with different narratives, but also you have to make sure that you diversify into blue chips, mid caps, low caps. You have to mix it up in every single way that you can mix it up, basically. Draco, hello, my friend. Yes, absolutely. I'll go to the gym later on today. Absolutely. Richard, hello, my man. How are you doing? VIP Solanki, hello, my friend. Jean-Pierre Lafont, hello. Alba XRP, hello. Hope it's all well in sunny Australia. Alfie Danger, hey dude, I wish you could turn on super follows on Twitter so I could buy it. Thank you, my friend. I'll see. I'll look into it. I haven't looked at them, to tell the truth. Yeah, Draco, absolutely. Not all of them. I keep reiterating. I keep reiterating this, and I know that people want to, we all have this fantasy, at least when as newcomers, we have this fantasy that we're going to come buy a bunch of coins, all of them are going to pump hard to the moon, and we're going to retire as millionaires just basically in a year or two, right? Not the way that it works. Like, why diversify so heavily, and why I said I will not be one bit surprised if by the end, basically when the euphoria phase hits, so basically years down the road, and we're somewhere in 2025, and the euphoria phase hits, and I'm selling my coins. I won't be surprised if by that time I have like under 100 coins. If I have something like 80 coins, I will not be surprised. It is tough in the sense that it's tough to monitor, but this is my job. I don't have a job, right? This is my job. This is what I do. I live and breathe crypto 24/7, 365. This is what I do. I'm always staring at charts, always reading up on fundamentals, always reading up on what the coin is doing, partnering and whatnot, looking at how much weight the coin has in the social media, looking at who's mentioning it, going into discreetly into different Telegram groups to see what they're mentioning, watching YouTube videos, joining some groups just to see, once again, these groups have a lot of subscription, like paid followers. I also get in there just to see once again, was it being shilled. So I put up a lot of work and I actually invest a tidy amount of money to put research into these coins, right? I don't just basically look at the fundamentals, read up on the internet, and decide that it's a great coin, I'm going for it. That's what most of the people do, right? I actually spend money, put in the work, analyze, go into a lot of different groups, read up on what people are saying, see the sentiment, look at the charts, then look at the teams, look at the social standing, and then I go for the coin, right? Which is why sometimes it takes me so long, because there are a lot of factors that come into play, and sometimes I'm really indecisive about whether or not I want to go for a project. Like the latest one that I added, it's a great project, and I believe that it has huge potential to pump. The only thing that I do not like about it is it has a huge circulating supply, and it has a huge max supply, even more than XRP. But then the circulating supply is like much smaller than XRP, right? So what does that mean? That means that project at any point, the creators, they can dump huge bags and crash the coin. That's basically one thing I did not like about it. But I invest what I consider to be little amounts of money to these projects. So if this one goes down the drain, I've got a lot of other coins. And statistically, some of these coins are going to pump very well, and other coins are not going to pump well at all or go to zero. And people have to be aware of this. I'm not going to be sitting here and being one of those guys like, to the moon, let's go, boys. Yeah, we 1,000 to 5,000x. You have these people that are popular online, and they will always be popular because people like entertainment and BS, just the way that it is. WWE is famous for a reason, my friends. Do you have any particular projects of your 100x list that you're feeling more bullish on than the others, Greg? My friend, if I'm to be honest, no, I do not. I do not. But I remember the DM that you sent me today. So if you want to pick out certain projects, since you are my passion, we can do that. We can, in the Twitter DMs, we can pick out some projects that I do think that probably have more potential than others, maybe simply because of scarcity or once again because of the social standing. But to me, they're all the same, basically, right? So I put in a lot of work into these projects before I buy them, and I buy them because I think that every single one of them has a potential to do 50 to 100x, right? So I expect the same numbers from everything. But I get your point, and like I said, I read your DM and answered you today. Draco Magnus, thank you. I appreciate the kind word, my friend. I really appreciate it. 3 steps ahead. Battar, how much XRP do I need for it to be worth 1 million in 2024? Well, my friend, this is a sort of like one moon question. I don't do one moon questions really. Time frames are important, and rough estimates by time frames are a secondary metric. Number one thing I look at basically is percentages. That's the number one. And then when time frames and a market sentiment come into play with the percentages, all these three things come together, and the market is doing what it's supposed to do historically, more or less, or it's not doing, I act upon that. Gabanito, hi Rob, why are you not in the mall today? I thought you had an apartment there. But I like your jokes, Gabanito. Thank you for joining. I'm trying to quit Starbucks, or at least really cut down on Starbucks, because I decided to start working out, looking after my health, eating healthy. Like I started eating a lot more soups and salads. Time to lose weight and make sure that I stay here on this earth for a long time, for my family and for my child. So yeah, kind of time to start taking care of my health. Pavitra, hello, my friend. How are you? Zabi, how much capital do you need for these 100x gems? Asking if one has already invested in the coins mentioned in your spreadsheet. Zabi, the whole point of that tier, the $99 tier, right, is that for people who can afford it, right? So if you can especially afford to pay $100 a month to get gems from a person that you respect, right, in the crypto space, that means for you $100 a month is not much, right? I invest what I consider to be small amounts of money. If you're on my Patreon, you know what it is. So for me, they're literally tiny amounts of money. So whatever is tiny and small for you, that's what you invest, right? So I don't know, differently. I can invest anywhere from $500 to $2,000 in a coin. I don't know if I feel like it, I'll throw in $5,000. It really depends. It really depends, right? So for me, these are small amounts of money. If it's not a small amount of money for you, you obviously go with something much smaller, like 100, 200, $300. And I know some people are in a situation where they can't buy all those coins, and they pick out certain coins, which is unfortunate because I think it's important to have all those coins. I think, like the way I keep saying, if you do what I do, you will get the same results, right? If you do a partly what I do and partly what I don't, you will get partly the results of what I did and part of the results of what I didn't, right? So I remember back in the last cycle, I didn't even have a Patreon or paid group or anything. I was just, saying everything publicly, sharing every single sale, everything that I did for 2 cycles on Twitter, right, and here on YouTube. And basically, at one point, I had this guy who was DMing me and asking these questions for a very long time. I guess maybe for like 2 years, right? I would just tell him like everything is recorded there. What I do every single time I sell, I do this and that, and then I would still answer things in the DMs. And then like after like 2 years, this guy tells me that he lost money because of me, and I'm like, how is that possible? If I made a lot of money and you lost money. So I started asking him questions, right? And so one of the things I found out is that he had invested into Celsius and got completely screwed by Celsius. And then he also invested into something else. I don't remember what it was, but basically lost money there too, right? So I'm like, so how can you say that you lost money because of me if you made money off the things I mentioned, but then you go invest into Celsius, which I said several times that I'm not touching. And then that other coin, I was like, I will never touch that coin either. And so they get screwed there. So, people like to fantasize and blame other people, right? So my point is that I'm trying to make here once again, if you're following my lead, do what I do. If you start doing something different, you're going to get different results. It's just as simple as that, my friends. Ismail Muhammad, I also made about 200% on a coin, but just that I bought with very tiny amounts of money. Wish I had bought bigger amounts. It's always going to happen, my friend. What if it was a coin that you bought and it crashed 99%, right? You can't think that way. If you invested and you made money, you won. It's the way that it is. We always wish that we had invested more. Like right now, I didn't get all my entries, and I'm not forcing entries. I'll only add again if we go to new lows. We may not go to new lows. We may go to new lows, but if we don't go to new lows, I'm probably going to be missing around with like 55 or like, no, sorry, like 45 or 40% of my investing portfolio, right? So I still have a lot of money on the side, which I allocated to invest, which will not be invested into the market. It will keep pumping, and the new lows never come, which they may not come. If they come, then I'll invest that money. If they don't come, that means I missed out. And of course, I'll be sitting there thinking, oh man, I wish I'd invested that too. It would have made nearly twice more money. But you can't think that way. You can't think that way. The fact that you found a coin that's up to 100%, well done. Think of it that way, my friend. Greg, my friend, no, I already I don't know. How long have you been following me, my friend, on Twitter? I've had a kid for a while. I had a kid for a while. Yeah, Draco, she actually turned 7 months old just the other day. Yeah, yeah, Greg. I wish your son all the very best, lots of health, wealth, and happiness in all aspects of life, my friend. Wish you and your family all the very, very best. Hope your son makes you proud and has a wonderful life, my friend. Pavitra, sorry, which question did I miss? Could you please kindly ask it again? I'll keep an eye on it. Albex RP, I've got both my teenage sons into the crypto market. Their future is secured. Yeah, I like that. Investing early is very good. Investing early is very good. Just make sure, guys, you take profits, before everything crashes hard. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Once the euphoria phase kicks in, make sure that you take heavy profits, my friends. Davor, where do you keep your coins? Ledger Nano or the exchange? I never really like talking about that, but since it's kind of like exposing yourself, but no, I keep my coins on two different wallets, the majority of my coins. And then, of course, since, you have to be realistic if you're basically to execute certain entries and whatnot, right? If you have to have stop losses in the euphoria phase where you have to sell, you have to have the coins on exchanges, right? Because if you don't, if you've been here in the past, you try to log into your account for like a day sometimes, and you just can't. The coins are going crazy, or like pumping crazy or crashing crazy, so you can't take profits or set a stop loss. And then once you finally are able to log in and the traffic dies down, like the coin is already either crashed a lot and you missed your stop loss. Basically, there's risk in everything, my friend. But yeah. Pavitra, hi. Does a 70% weightage to blue chips and remaining 30% spread over mid caps and small caps a good portfolio distribution strategy? Yeah, Pavitra, yeah. I think that is. I think if you're 70% in blue chips and 30% in mid caps and low caps, I think that's good. That's definitely something I can say that I approve of. Draco, have you studied those coins like Monero, Secret, Pirate, etc.? Well, I don't know what Secret and Pirate are, but I know what Monero is. And I haven't looked at the Monero chart for ages, my friend. I have not looked at the chart. You're my patron, my friend. You know what I look at. You know which coins I look at, and I um, look at a lot of different coins, right? But if I basically don't add these coins to Patreon, or I don't add them to the Millionaire spreadsheet or the $99 tier, um, that means I think these coins are not supposed to be in your portfolio. You see, but of course, I can't predict every single thing. Of course, there are coins that are going to moon, which I'm not in, right? But I'm also sure that a lot of coins are going to moon hard. You know what I mean, my friend? Jean-Pierre, yes, I have. Yes, I have, my friend. I'll just say that. Canator, happy Saturday. Enjoy your life all together. Good times ahead. Yes, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Good times ahead, but also it's going to take a while to get there. I know, right now, for example, spoke about this earlier that people are going crazy in terms of that everything is pumping. We're heading to new all-time highs. This year, we're going to see 100K, 200K. Next year, some saying that we're going to see 150K this year. I know there are a lot of different narratives and excitement there. We spoke about this earlier, right? And it's already coming here, and as we pump further, the narrative is only going to intensify. The truth is that we're going to have to wait for new all-time highs and the euphoria stage for a long time, right? If you're in a pattern, once again, you know what I'm referring to. We're going to have to wait a long time if 4-year cycles are intact. And if they're not intact, we're going to have to wait even longer for seeing new lows. All this excitement is going to die down eventually. Even right now, you'll see once we get a little correction, the excitement is going to die down once again. We're going to see crazy bearish targets. As long as we hold higher lows, and as long as time frame wise everything develops the way it's developing, and that has been the case so far, we're in a 4-year cycle. But as we spoke about it earlier, once we get roughly to like the 45,000 Bitcoin area, somewhere around that, we'll see at what stocks are doing, we'll see at what alts are doing, and we're going to decide whether or not 4-year cycles are intact and if higher lows are holding. If they are, everything is great. If they're not, that means we have a problem. Something is different, and that means that this time we're going to do something different too. But so far, I have people every single time say that this time it's different. It has never been different. You should have always been buying Bitcoin when it crashes roughly 80%. Every single time people say that it's going to zero once that happens. Every single time, if you bought Bitcoin after a roughly 80% crash, you made a lot of money in the future. Every single time, you have to wait a long time, years, to make a lot of money in the future. And if you had bought altcoins also when Bitcoin was down roughly 80%, you also made a lot of money, much more than you even made with Bitcoin. But once again, you had to wait a long time, right? So you have these people, I'm just saying that moon. And then I see that newcomers who are replying in the comments really are expecting that in 3-4 months, that Bitcoin is going to something like $100,000, or like in 6 months is going to like $150,000. I'm pretty sure, I know that a lot of my friends, I have a lot of different friends who are great analysts, but I'm pretty sure, I can tell you this right now, that Bitcoin is not going to $100,000 this year. Just be realistic, my friends. Be realistic and don't put yourself in a position where you have several times in the past where you listen to Moon Boys and get screwed over, right? Because just like in the last cycle when I was taking profits and getting out and literally telling you stop listening to Moon Boys, locking profits and set stop losses, people were laughing, which is sometimes where I'm feeling a little bit devilish. I retweet these comments, right? Because people were making fun of me so heavily sometimes. I retweet these comments saying, how does it feel now? Do you feel like a genius? And you know what they do? They delete their comment or block. So my point is, once again, you should have learned by now, especially if you've been here for years, do not listen to Moon Boys, right? Yes, right now the market is bullish. The macro momentum is bullish. Yes, we're making higher highs and higher lows. That doesn't mean there won't be corrections. There will be corrections. Yes, alts are going to pump more than Bitcoin, but just calm down, my friends. Don't FOMO into green candles. Don't chase, right? If you missed and you didn't buy near the lows, you probably should not be buying. Of course, there's some coins that you can still buy, but you really have to pick those up and be careful what you're buying if they haven't moved yet, or if they moved a little bit. But if coins already moved a lot, like for example, Injective, like you missed the trade, you don't buy it anymore. You look for something else if you can buy it. But if there's nothing else you can buy, you don't force the entries. You should have been buying closer to the 15K local bottom for Bitcoin. Greg Williams, hi Rob, another Greg here. Cheers, friend. A coin-specific question here. Some XRP is in my portfolio. I have sold XRP at 53 cents euro and looking for a retrace. Do you expect the coin to further retrace from now? I believe, Greg, I got your point. So basically, you did like a trade, right? You sold at 53 cents, and you're asking if there's going to be a retrace, and we're going to go lower than that. I personally believe that it can go, like I mentioned this before, it can go even as high as 67 cents or somewhere around that, and then go below 50 cents and go to something like 40 cents or even like 38 cents. It's going to take a while. It might happen in the coming months. This is why it's called swing trading. I myself have sold a small portion of XRP at a certain price, and I will buy back if we go lower. And I think the probability of us going lower is very high. And if we don't, I really don't care, because the amount of XRP I have is big. I've been here for a long time. I took a lot of heat in the last cycle, for waiting for the 10 to 15 cent area, where I really waited, put money aside and accumulated heavily. But to answer your question, yes, I do believe that it's very likely, and I myself am doing that with a little portion of my XRP. You can do both, my friend. My point is, you don't ignore people who basically tell you only to hold or only to trade, right? And make fun of you for selling your XRP too early. You didn't sell your XRP too early, right? You have a lot of XRP on the side that you hold for Moon, right? If you're trading at the same time, there's no problem with that. Just make sure that you do not get in higher where you sold. Make sure that you get in only lower, right? And it's going to take a while, so prepare and be prepared to see something even as high as 67 cent XRP. Don't start kicking yourself and saying, I'm such an idiot. Just be patient, right? Be patient. Oh, my friend Simon Pickerton is here. F the SEC. I cannot say I disagree, my friend. I'm sure a lot of people agree with you. Polar Beer, hello, how are you? How are you, my friend? Simon, XDC. What do I think about XDC? Just a second. Give me a second. I'm checking. I'm checking because I think it might have been XDC that I wrote down a note. That I noted down something about XDC. Just a second. Was it XDC? Yeah. So yeah, I think XDC has potential, my friend. I think XDC has potential. I think that it's something that everybody should diversify into a little bit. Zabi, are the entries on the 100x gems valid at the moment? Some of them are not already, but there are enough coins that are valid where you can still enter, because besides, despite the fact that coins pumped, they have retraced. Some of them have retraced well enough, so you can roughly buy in the same zone. Other coins you've missed out already. So some of them you will not be able to buy. Some of them you will be able to buy, my friend. Simon, I've noticed XDC has been a leading indicator for XRP. What do you mean, my friend? Please clarify. Paul, my bullish. That's good. That's good. Diversify. I'm glad to hear that. Gabonito. Rob, I have been on your Patreon for a while now. Would you not say exchange coins are rather high risk now, since the SEC and other regulators are targeting them? Not sure if I'm main play worthy. I see your question. Of course they're high risk, and of course there's a risk that the SEC is going to go after these exchange coins, right? But I have my rules, like I told you, right? When we're holding XRP, for example, back in the day, nobody really sold the risk. So Ripple was coming out and saying very often, like Brad Garlinghouse was saying nonstop, that we're working with regulators, that we met with this regulator and that regulator. And since the use case was there, which was great, and they were meeting with regulators nonstop and working with governments all across the world and banks nonstop, right? And basically, it seemed like such a secure coin, and nobody saw it coming, right? Nobody saw it coming, which is why it was such a huge shock for the market, which is why it crashed so hard, because it was such a big surprise. If anything, like, we expected other coins to be targeted by the SEC, but not XRP, because simply Brad Garlinghouse nonstop regurgitated that we're working with regulators, right? They were working with regulators, but apparently it did not help, right? So SEC are sneaky people. So just because something seems risky doesn't mean that it's not not a good play, and just because something seems safe doesn't mean that it's a good play. You see what I mean? So I chose the coins that I chose for a reason. My portfolio is very diversified, and I'm going to hold them and see where the market goes with it. And just like I said, we don't know what the SEC is going to target exactly. Like I told you also, I believe that sooner or later, I don't know when, I do believe that the SEC is going to go out with some kind of RICO case where they're just going to basically kill like half of the market, thousands of coins, just because you know how RICO works, right? So yeah. I'm sticking to my plan. I'm sticking to my coins, and if the SEC sues someone, right, and it happens while I'm there, absolutely, I'll sell the coin right away, no matter what coin that it is. Wait for the coin to crash, and then think about whether or not I'm buying it back. But they'll go after a lot of projects, just like they went after the XRP, and just because it's an exchange coin doesn't really change anything, right? There are a lot of other projects they have gone after and will go after that are not exchange coins. You just cannot keep guessing these things nonstop. Ismail Mohammed, click the like button, guys. Yes, please kindly click the like button, my friends. Thank you very much, Ismail, for reminding. Robin, hello, my friend. Yeah, better late than never. Thank you for joining. What happened to Chen? Zia Malik. Hello, Rob. Have been following you since the beginning. The market sentiment seems bullish. What's your opinion on sell in May and walk away? Do you anticipate a bullish short-term pump, aka May 2021? I like May 21. Okay, so historically that's true when you look at the monthly chart throughout the years. May has been quite bearish. I do look at the chart sometimes, and I would have to look at it to tell you what it is. It's very possible, of course, to sell in May and walk away. Will I be doing it? No, because these little narratives that although that the likelihood that crypto will correct heavily in May is probably there, and that's something that I've noticed in the past. Really, it has happened much more often than it hasn't happened. But if it's one of those rare times where it doesn't happen, I'm not risking, right? So I have my macro plan. I'm not going to start ruining life-changing money and this money like 10, 20, 30x in the case of other coins like 50 to 100x, simply because I wanted to sell, buy back lower, and then make more money. I'm just going to stick with my plan. I'm just going to let the market play out, and once I think it's peaking, I'm going to start getting out. I'm not going to mess around, because I've seen it way too often. Since on my Patreon, I do talk to a lot of students, and people reach out to me. How many times I've heard about people trying to do something like this, or something like where they take half of the bag, they sell, and they want to buy lower, and then basically what happens is they find themselves buying like after 200, 300% pump, and then the coin crashes, and then they sell. It's like insane. Don't complicate matters for yourself. Don't try to really trade, because statistically, most traders lose money consistently. Draco, thank you for joining, my friend. All the best to you and your family. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye. Miss Vicky Asi, hello. Goop, do you hold XLM and Aqua? I hold XLM. My friend. Simon, I've noticed when XRP makes big moves, XTC moves first, then XRP. Interesting. I've never noticed that. Thank you for pointing that out. I'll check it out. Thank you very much. Just reading your questions, my friends. 3 steps ahead, but tired. 51 watching, but only 13 likes. Yeah, now 21. More likes, please, my friends. Maximilian, it's good to see you too. Thank you for joining. UK private pilot, hire from Northern Ireland, a million subscriber. What do you think LTC can do in the next run, and do you hold any? UK private. Hello, my friend. Hope you're well in Northern Ireland. What do I think can LTC do? Well, I think that LTC, quite frankly, will pump with the rest of the market. We're just talking about how hard will it pump. So for me personally, I believe that there are very rare exceptions when you look at historic where coins were pumping before the rest of the market. Like for example, Link back in the day, and like Injective, but even Injective right now is pumping with the rest of the market, right? Just pumping more. So it really, really depends, right? We don't know. This is why we're diversifying the different coins, and why that's why some of these coins are dinosaur coins, right? Like basically old coins. The thing is, Litecoin is definitely something that can move a lot in this current cycle, and maybe it won't, right? So if you like Litecoin, to answer your question, buy some. Buy some, but don't favor it over other coins. Hold it, and then once we reach basically the peak euphoria, whatever Litecoin has done, no matter how much it has popped, just sell it, just like all the other coins. Because every single coin out there, if you look at the chart and take away the fundamentals and all the basically fairy tale nonsense, if you just look at the chart, right, every single coin out there is a pump and dump. Every single one pumps really hard and dumps really hard. So our job is just to get in before they pump hard and get out before they dump hard. Once basically the peak euphoria stage comes in, and there are a lot of coins that have pumped like crazy, no matter what Litecoin has done, don't rotate profits into it. Don't think that it's a laggard that's going to pump harder. Whatever it has pumped, you sell and you get out of the market, and you wait huge crashes, my friend. Rossinaire, I'm really curious about your XRP bag. My friend, I'm not like, I don't mention the holdings that I have, right? And I'm never going to mention that. Just like, unless it's a student of mine who's asking for help, I will never ask them, any other person, how much they hold also. But I do promise you that it is significant. Like the amount of XRP I have, it is a lot by, I think, anybody's standards. Star Film Production, LTC having coming soon. Yeah, my friends, like to me, these things like the forks, havings, I don't know, like you name it, basically, right? To me, they're non-events. I know that a lot of people put a lot of faith into the havings, but I really don't. To me, they don't matter. To me, what matters is just basically, like I said, how much does the coin crash? Does it crash enough to start buying? How much does the coin pump? Is it enough to start selling? How's the time frame lining up? How's the market sentiment lining up? And once all these three come together, there's a right time to buy. And once all these three things come together, there's a right time to sell. Like there's so many narratives out there that I just don't believe in that stuff. Like there's like so many of these events, right? Like in this cycle, I gave an example with ADA, and then I forgot the Ethereum thing that happened, and people were so bullish on it, and I was saying that Ethereum is going to 3 digits, right? And it went to 3 digits. It wasn't bullish. You see what I mean? So LTC, forget about the having. It's irrelevant, in my opinion, my friend. So what's relevant though is Litecoin making higher lows and higher highs? Is it moving with the rest of the market? Is Bitcoin going to hold its higher low to make sure that alts can rally, or is it going to lose its higher low and crash, and therefore crash the rest of the alts with it much harder? Because whenever Bitcoin crashes, alts crash much harder, and once Bitcoin pumps, alts pump much harder because the volatility is much grander since the market caps are much smaller. So yeah, that's all that matters, my friend. Jovan Viring, you're the god, brother. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. Jean-Pierre, yeah. I will include meat into my new diet. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. I cannot live without meat. Like if somebody tells me you can't eat meat, I'm just like gonna tell them, you know, go to a place where the sun don't shine. I love meat. I love steaks. And I just cannot live without steaks. Davor Krojnik. Sorry if I didn't say your name correctly, my friend. Your millionaire spreadsheet is great. I use my staking rewards, ADA, Songbird, Flare, HBAR to buy your recommended coins. Maybe somebody finds this idea worth copying. Best regards from Berlin. Thank you for that, Davor. I appreciate the comment and I appreciate the compliment for praising the millionaire spreadsheet. Though, the way you kind of combine those two things, like I'm very anti-staking. Like the thing is, maybe it's because I really don't understand how some of that staking works. But the staking that I did understand how it works, like 3 of those projects went to hell. People lost so much money. It's insane, right? And those were projects that my friends were recommending, say, get in there. And I was researching and looking, and like one thing I could not understand with these projects was like, how is it that they guarantee, I don't know, 10%, for example, interest or 15%, right? And or even if it's less, right? I'm like, how do they guarantee it? What is it that they're able to do that I can't do, right? So, like, you're basically giving your money, they're doing something with it, and then they're guaranteeing you these profits. But nobody can guarantee anything in the financial world. I've been here in the speculative markets for way too long to know that nobody can guarantee anything. Uh, if somebody guarantees something, it kind of sounds like a scam, right? So, just like, for example, with my system, right? Uh, that's why I keep reiterating that it's not perfect. There's no perfection. We will not get all entries. We will not get all exits. Not every single coin will deliver, right? Because I know how the market works, right? I know that there's no such thing that you can guarantee, like, I don't know, like a monthly return to tens of thousands, over hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people every single month. Like, at which point does it stop working? So yeah, I'm anti-staking for that reason. But if it works for you, that's good, my friend. And just like be careful. Make sure that uh, you know, that you're doing it in a safe way. If you're doing it, like I would not do it. Excuse me, guys. Zappy, any thoughts on CSPR? CSPR is a good coin to diversify into. Definitely a good coin to diversify into, if you ask me. Once again, whenever somebody asks me about any coin, I always say don't favor it over other coins. Of course, you should favor blue chips over small caps because blue chips are much safer and small caps are much more volatile, and a lot of them are going to go to zero, right? But yeah, I mean, like for example, don't favor a blue chip coin over a blue chip coin. Don't favor one mid cap over another mid cap. Don't favor one low cap over another low cap. UK private pile. When you sell, do you keep your money in a stable coin or just have it sitting in fiat? I moved that money to the bank, my friend, because I don't really believe in stables, right? I don't believe that stable coins are stable. I believe that, although I do use them since I am forced to use them since, I do invest in crypto and trade and whatnot. I do not believe that they're stable. And I believe that sooner or later that something's going to happen with stable coins, which is going to be very problematic for a lot of people. So once I do sell, I move the money to my bank accounts. Shane G, F the haters on Twitter. Keep it up, Berto. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that shout out. Thank you, my friend. Why the hell is everyone, Simon? Why the hell is everyone on about CSPR? What makes it so great, Simon? The truth of the matter is, there's nothing that really makes it so great, right? I cannot basically say publicly because once again, that information is on my Patreon. What I believe makes CSPR so great. It's just the same thing that makes a lot of other coins so great, right? To me, every single coin, CSPR also, and other coins are pump and dumps, right? Uh, how I judge by a coin being a good coin? Does it have potential to pump well? Yeah, I think CSPR has potential to pump well. Why do I think that? Is it based on fundamentals and utility? No, I believe that's happening for other reasons that I'm not going to voice here, right? So you just made a great point. There is nothing special about CSPR, but there's something about it that will probably make people buy. Like just like with many other coins. UK Private Pilot, have you had any issues moving large profits into your bank? Yes, I have. Yes, I have, my friend. That's like one of the main things that I keep talking about that you're going to experience. At least I have. I don't know other places and other people's experiences, but I do know this. Once you consistently start withdrawing even like 10, 20, 30K on a monthly basis, some banks are already going to start asking you questions. And then when you start withdrawing things like 200, 300K, some banks, they're going to call you and just say, we saw that you drew this amount of money from Binance or some other crypto exchange. And that's what we're basically blocking your bank account because we're not crypto friendly. You have like that amount of time to move your funds to a different bank. It can only be in your name. It cannot be in your relative's name. It has to be in the same country. Well, from what I experienced, right? So definitely problematic. Definitely something to worry about nonstop. Banks have become hardcore these days. You can't even take out cash normally. You go ask for 50 G's, but sometimes I don't give you 50 G's because I simply don't have it. You have to order it up front. Even if you order it up front, they might give you like 35 G's. And then say, come get the other 15 G's later. So banks have become very problematic, and I haven't had an occasion where I was withdrawing a lot of money, so like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when I walked into the vault, although I ordered the money, right, so I had to wait like probably like I don't know a week, somewhere around that. So I walked into the vault, and what happens is the door closes behind me, and there are 3 security personnel asking me, "Is everything okay? Like, am I being extorted? Like, why am I taking this kind of money out, right?" And I'm like, just like, yo, dudes, chill. This is my money. I'm taking out my money. Everything is fine. But yeah, they kind of make it problematic for you even to take cash out. Yannick, hi Rob, just tuned in. Might have been answered already, but where do you see ETH consolidating after the pump? Cheers, dude, and all the best. Yannick, like I look at it long term, right? I think that ETH will pump much higher in the coming years in the euphoria phase of the market. But right now, I really don't care. I don't play these little moves. I bought, after it crashed in the 3 digits, and I'm just holding. And if I get opportunity down the road to buy much lower, I will buy. If it crashes much lower in 15K, local bottom for Bitcoin doesn't hold, I will. That's why I have funds on the side that I'm not touching. This is why I'm not forcing entries. And if not, I've got enough Ethereum, and once we pump, I'm going to start selling. But that time is not coming anytime soon. Gabonito, I assume you quit your day job when you moved to Dubai. Was it a difficult decision? Yeah. Of course, I definitely quit my day job, and no, it wasn't a difficult decision because I've made money, so excuse me, like I know I'm safe. The only thing I guess is that, and like I keep myself busy. I have a lot to do. I have my patron to take care of. I have my private students to take care of. I have charts to analyze, projects to look into. Like I'm busy 24/7. But like, how would you say this? Like I told you, just like I spoke about it just right now. My only concern is the whole banking stuff, right? I just really hope banks are not going to create problems, and for me to access my money, basically. Other than that, everything is fine. And if you want to move, yeah, absolutely, move. It's a great place. Dubai is great. Contact. I'm happy you had time to join. Also from Singapore, awesome. Contact. Thank you. Go. What's your rule on when to sell? My rule was to sell basically once I said when the percentage pump is high enough, when time frame wise we're there aligning, and sentiment wise we're aligning. So if I see that everything is happening the way that it happened in the past and everything is going the way that it is, then we'll just keep forwarding the 4-year cycle. Once we start, getting into the last 200 to 300 days, we start setting stop losses. We're very aware of the fact that speaking for it, we'll start taking heavy profits and then waiting crashes. Also, at the same time, it's important, for example, for the stock market in the Dow to set a new all-time high. It's important for altcoins to basically, it's very important basically for altcoins to really kind of not do anything until the new all-time high breaks. So once, the way I see it, if altcoins are pumping hard while Bitcoin has already breached its all-time high, it's a little bit problematic. Like I'm not going to dwell into detailed reasoning here because once again, I talk about that stuff on Patreon and explain it there. But I would basically feel much calmer if Bitcoin is pumping hard and alts are kind of like pumping but not doing much. And then Bitcoin breaches its all-time high and then alts rally hard, right? That would make me feel much better. So there are a few things that have to come together. And if I see that one of these things that have always been happening, for example, like if the stock market is not breaching all-time highs and it looks like it's crashing, right? Looks like it's in a crashing structure. That's going to be, like a red alert, right? That's one of those signs that we do not want to see. We want the stock market to break its all-time highs. We want the Dow to make new all-time highs. So yeah. Jean-Pierre, do you have more space for private students, Rob? Honestly, no, my friend. Like, I have 21 private students right now, and one more person reached out to me. It even took me like 2 days to answer to him, and I warned him that if he wants to join, that it's going to basically take me a while to answer here and there. So no, my friend. I definitely. Like, I'm not the kind of person who just wants to take a person's money and then not deliver. I, at this point, cannot deliver more. I have enough on my plate, and I truly do not want any more private students. With all due respect, I hope I don't come across as an ass, Thanks, Rob. I heard a good saying: "Sell when you're very happy. Do not get greedy." Yeah, that's a definitely good saying. Gabonito, thanks for everything. Have a nice day with your family, bro. See you later. Thank you. Enjoy your day too, my friends. So, yeah, my friends, right now, let's just see where the market does. I'm expecting a correction sooner or later, right? An important level for Bitcoin to take out is $32,800 because that was the peak of the last stop. Let's see if it takes it out. If it takes it out, once again, it's a confirmation of an uptrend. Otherwise, we're looking for it to make a higher low. As long as basically a higher low is made and the last two higher lows are respected, once again, we're in a macro ascending channel, which is good. The moment we lose a higher low, that's when we're in trouble because historically, whenever Bitcoin lost a higher low, there were no exceptions. The bear market commenced and it started crashing hard. So that's not something we want to see. What we want to see is higher lows and higher highs. Most importantly, higher lows. That's the best indicator. And want to see the stocks. Want to see stock market pumping and rallying. That's also something we want to see. Other than that, yeah, my friends, I'm probably going to go. We've been talking for nearly an hour now, 53 minutes. If you enjoyed it, please kind of put a like. Once again, if you want to join my Patreon, the link is right here. Don't do anything emotional, don't do anything irrational, don't force entries, don't chase green candles, my friends. Be patient, let the market play out, and let's just enjoy these pumps while they last, because we put in the hard work. We waited the huge crashes. We dollar cost averaged and diversified after huge crashes near the lows. We have a lot of coins that are doing well and performing well, so let's not get greedy and start chasing and doing something that's not part of the plan. Appreciate it very much. Please put a like. Bye-bye, my friends. Talk to you later.